Alrighty, so this next one is Carlos Patino. He showed up at the he showed up in the IE roughly a year ago. I think he's been doing it about a year, and I have the utmost respect for this guy. He has a daughter now. He has a wife. He has a regular job, and he continues to put in work and surprise me and continue to get better, even though he has hurdles to get over. And I have nothing but respect for him. And so I asked him to give the perspective of someone that's 1 year in rather than someone that's like 10. I think that his opinion of a year in is just as valid as someone whose opinion of who's 10 years in. I think everyone has their own perspective, and I think hearing different perspectives and different levels on this is really important. So this is Carlos Patino. Carlos, if you listen to this, which I assume you will, thank you again for doing this, man. And yeah.
What it feels like after my first year of doing comedy, like I felt good, man. I felt accomplished because I wasn't sure how long I was gonna be able to do this. Considering that I have a family and a wife and a child to take care of, so it felt good having support for as long as I've had it. To continue following my dreams. So I'm very grateful, and especially after this quarantine lockdown situation, like I felt even more grateful that I got to at least go out and try it. And the fact that I got a year's worth of practice, has been very helpful. I mean, I took a couple of breaks involuntarily. I think when a coworker of mine had a baby, and then when I had my baby, like I kind of couldn't do comedy every day or the times that I wanted to. But once all that got situated, I got into a routine where I started doing a lot of comedy. I started going out more often, and it was fun being able to create. And especially when it's something that I've always wanted to do. Because I mean, ever since probably middle school, I've wanted to do it. So to finally get out there and do something that's actually that I'm actually I feel good at. Like I feel good. I feel that I'm good at doing this. Um, it's something that I wanted to work on, and it was fun. And I definitely appreciated all the stage time that I was able to get. Now looking back at it, because there was some spots and some places where I'm just like, I don't want to do it here because it's a terrible situation. And there's been times where I'm like, oh man, I got mad, and instead of doing my jokes, I kind of just let the situation get to me. So now looking back at it, I appreciate all the stage time that I was able to do anything with. Whether I got to develop anything or if I just got mad on stage thinking that would work. Which, by the way, that does not work. You getting mad on stage just because the situation isn't what you wanted it to be, it's it's not gonna it's not fun to watch if everyone thinks that, because none of us are Bill Burr. When Bill Burr did that, when he went off on all of Philadelphia, it was funny because it's Bill Burr. No one can match the type of rage that he has. He's able to make his rage in a humorous way. He's actually mad, but um, us we're at the level that, especially at the level that I was in, when I get mad at situations, it's not funny. So that's something that I would change personally in my case. And advice that I would give anybody who's trying to do it once this is over is, let's see, what can I say? I'd say try it for sure, because you never know if you're going to be good at it or not. And even if you're not good at it, that's the beauty of doing open mics and getting out there is you get a lot of practice, and if it's something that you want to be good at, you can get good at it. Like I got significantly better from when I first started doing comedy to like the last mic that I did, which was sometime in March. But like definitely, like the more you do it, the more you put it into practice, and the more you're willing to learn and change and adapt to situations, the better you're gonna be later on. So if it's something you really want to do, I'd say go for it. I would say I'll keep it to 2 bullet points of advice. One is learn how to tell a joke, set up and punchline. That way you know that you're not just on stage just talking, because anybody can do that. You know, I did it for years when I used to be a youth leader at my church. I would just talk, you know, and eventually I would say something funny, but you only got 5 minutes at a time, usually 3 to 5 minutes at a time, usually when you're beginning. So learn how to tell a joke. That way you know what it feels like to, you know, um, to structure a joke. You know, set up punchline, tags. You know, I think it's real important to learn that early on. And then number two, and this will be the last bullet point, the last piece of advice is don't invite anybody to open mics. I mean, it's cool to bring friends for support and all that stuff, but it's like you're going to be such trash in the beginning that your friends are going to look at you and they're going to be like, you really shouldn't do this. And honestly, you shouldn't listen to your friends in the first place. You know, this is your endeavor. This is something that you want to do. And therefore, it's something that you need to work on your own. Like, for example, I would only, like, my wife, as much as she wanted to support me and stuff like that, she's only seen me do comedy a couple times. And I was okay with that because I was such hot trash that, like, I don't know what I was thinking trying to invite people to see me, because it's not like they're seeing me at a show. They're seeing me at an open mic, and I'm not the only one that's doing bad, you know. But there's people that are doing real good, and that just made me look worse, you know. So I that would be one of my biggest suggestions. Wait to invite people, because there's gonna be a point in your career, or whatever you want to call it. There's gonna be a point where you're gonna be asked by bookers to bring people to your shows. And even then, I haven't done bringers, but there comes a time and a place where you will have to do bringers. You might have to do bringers, and it's better to invite your friends. Oh my gosh, there's a helicopter. So scary. These times are so scary. So yeah, save your friends for when you have to do bringers, and by then you're already gonna have a little bit more experience, and you're gonna probably, if you followed my other advice where you learn how to do setup and punchlines, you'll already have that confidence of knowing how to tell a joke, and you also have that confidence of being on stage a few times already, and then you'll finally be able to do a show, and you'll be able to show off to your friends, like, look, I know what I'm doing, more or less. I mean, regardless of how the situation goes, it's better to save your peeps for a bringer. So that's it. And also, don't take this shit for granted, because all of us miss it so much. So when you do get on stage, like, really go for it. If you do it, if you try it and it's not really what you wanted to do, then that's fine. You know, just find something else that you can pursue as a passion. But if you really want to do it, then work hard at it. Work real hard at it. Don't waste your time, because obviously we don't know. We're all in limbo right now, and we don't know when we can continue again. But when we do, I promise you, a lot of us are going to be stoked and excited to start again. And if you're one of those people that want to jump in once again, or for the first time, I say go for it. Go for it, and don't give up. It's going to be fun. All right. Thank you, guys. Oh, yeah, and listen to my podcast. Whoever's listening to Aaron's podcast, leave his podcast and come listen to mine afterwards. It's called the Construction Ahead Podcast. I have some comics on and all that stuff. It's a good time. So thank you, guys.